And I am live, trusting in the feedback of the devices and the mechanistic machines. I trust that I am live. Um, yeah, and no one has joined the live chat, so I will just proceed as I proceed. Um, I'm gonna see. I know what is in the box. I had fun opening Beerus, our little Egyptian hairless um, cat friend from, I guess he's from Dragon Ball Z. So I got this in the mail today, so I thought I would do a similar kind of semi impromptu unboxing as we wait for people to, if anyone arrives. If not, I will just proceed. Wonder Woman, Mohawk Wonder Woman, completing the Batman Last Night on Earth for the Build a Figure Bane. So this was actually one of the first Build a Figure guys. I guess I inadvertently started building, though I did not think I was building him. I got Scarecrow, who is like half a figure because he was so damn dirt cheap. And basically, with this Build a Figure Bane, what ends up happening is the Scarecrow guy ends up basically just kind of hanging off the back of Bane. And so I picked up the Scarecrow guy going, oh, he'll just basically be like a set piece. I'll use him as an effect. And then I was like, well, then you're in for a penny and for a pound. You know what I mean? And then you start, then they get you. And then this was the last piece of the puzzle. And what ends up happening is I collect the female figures primarily. And the female figures are supposed to be the least popular. But what ends up happening is, so normatively, I get a lucky break as a collector because normatively, the figures that I want are the figures in a lineup of toys that most people end up in clearance. But in any build a figure range, the figures that I want are the ones that end up shooting up in value. Why? Here's why. You've got X number of figures in a build a figure line. What happens in a build a figure line is every figure in a build a figure line has another piece of a puzzle that each piece will build up a mega figure, like a big figure. So there's 4 figures in this lineup. Each one of them has, like, Wonder Woman has this guy's Bane's arms, another dude has his torso, another dude has his legs. You get all the 4 separate figures, you put them all together, you got your Mega Bane, and you're good to go, right? So, but everybody wants the super cool end of the world Batman. So everybody gets that guy. Everybody wants Robot Omega Batman. So everybody gets that guy. Nobody wants Scarecrow, so that guy's cheap. Whatever. What ends up happening is because everybody ends up getting that particular guy that they like or want or everybody wants, those guys end up getting picked up and whatever. And everyone gets their little, oh, now I got this little piece of the Build-A-Figure puzzle. Now the Build-A-Figure thing is a scamola to make everyone get more toys than they need. You just wanted one action figure. That's what you were in for. Oh, man, I'm an older guy. Yeah, it'd be cool to have a little Batman guy, I guess. You know what I mean? Oh, don't you want a Batman? And, McFarlane says, oh, you don't just want a Batman. You want a Batman and a Wonder Woman and an Omega, and I don't even know who Omega is, so I really don't want that. And I'm cool. I don't need a Wonder Woman. A cool Batman. I remember going to see Batman, the Batman movie with Jack Nicholson. I'm cool. Yeah, no, I just need a bat. No, the cool Batman looks good. I'm good with that. They open up that box, dude. Yeah, I got the Batman. What's this in the box? Yeah, what's that in the box? It's extra pieces here. I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh yeah, that's your little plastic crack addiction new thing. You're gonna have to. You could just throw those cool pieces of what is this? Oh, that's 2 little awesome fists and a head. You throw that away? No, look at that head. Look at that cool ass Bane head. What's that go to? Oh, look at that. Kind of makes you want to build a figure face. And now, shitbag, guess what you're gonna do? Something you never thought you'd do. Ben is cool with it because he's a weirdo. He likes girl figures, but you're gonna weird out when you have to spend whatever amount of money. Because now, what ends up happening is the figure that nobody wanted, the chick figure. Now everybody's got to go get the last figure that nobody, because then everyone goes and goes, well, I got this guy, so I got that guy, now I got that guy, and then every heterosexual dude is like, oh man, yeah, now you got to go buy Wonder Woman. It is incredible. You would think that, people would be okay with it. Is incredible. The lengths that people will go to avoid buying gal action figures for fear of being told that they're playing with dolls. It's incredible. But so what ends up happening is by the time I figure out, oh man, I'll bite the bullet and end up building the actual fucking Bane figure, going full Monty and not just having Scarecrow, but going all in. By the time I do that, you end up paying more than you wanted to, but what are you going to do? And the other thing that I held off on is this. With gals, I like longer hair. So the thing with this figure was this. I had a problem because this Wonder Woman has a mohawk. So Wendy O. Williams is like the exception. But normatively, I am like, with Wonder Woman, especially with like cutting her long black hair, I was like holding off on this figure. I was like, because I didn't know if I could do it. Because I was like, that was cutting Wonder Woman's like I have a problem. Because here's the thing also, it's like with the mohawk, because here's the thing. I was so into, and it's funny because Storm technically cut her hair before I even got into comic books, but I was so into long hair, white long hair Aurora Storm, that when I figured out that it was like I couldn't deal with, like, you know what I mean, that they had done her mohawk style. Like, I could not deal with the fact that they had taken that African American queen and had and there's some people that are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Mohawk Storm is the Storm, you're an idiot. And I'm like, like, everyone's got their thing, but like, I was like, so it was like, to see a Mohawk Wonder Woman, it was like a repeat of that whole fucking trauma. I was like, the fuck, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know if I could do it. But then I was like, okay, whatever. But it's interesting that we're having these kind of conversations about, like, I guess, the objectification of women and maybe even the possession and the purchasing of women in this form, because it's going to go into the topics that we're going to talk about today vis-a-vis the meta RPG. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to talk on this channel. With the way that my life has been developing and going, and I hope my audio is okay. I hope everything's going okay. I say hello to everybody. It's been a while with my ability to go to YouTube being lessened, and then with having, different channels and kind of having different ideas about where things should go or can go. Previous times where I thought, okay, we're going to get to Blueberry Wolf Bridge, no intro RPG, we're going to get here, have been stymied, and I didn't get here when I thought I would. So looking at my notes, I'm realizing there's stuff here that I thought I was probably, I'm reviewing stuff that I probably thought I was going to end up talking with you guys probably about a month ago. So, it is what it is. So we will get to what we get to. I didn't worry about trying to organize anything. I just have my kind of my notes. The things that I had that were kind of play updates, my meta RPG stuff that I had done that I guess I could show you, which would involve a new guy that I had made and was using with one of the fighting fantasy game books, as well as the creation of a space, a 2013, I guess, space, and how that space was created using, the spell, generation method and spell utilization method, and, kind of taking you through that. And, but in doing that, what we'll end up doing is talking about grimy in spellcasting and grimy in, I guess, esoteric practice, and grimy in RPGs and in solo RPGs, and I guess grimy in gaming, and I guess essentially grimy in life. And I think what we'll end up confronting is something I think I've confronted with you guys, I guess successfully, I guess you could say, or depending on your point of view, in the sense that I've been very open with you guys about, like, my sexuality, or, in regards to, letting it all hang out as far as being, kind of a blue guy, working blue, or just, kind of, being kind of bawdy, or stuff, not, I don't really have much of a filter, that gets me in trouble a lot of times, you know what I mean? But, um, I consider myself almost like a, philosopher of, like the the dirty, you know what I mean, or the obscene sometimes. But we also talk about like working stuff out, you know what I mean, or how, like, esoteric practices, you know, we discover things about ourselves when we work. And this is very much, work. And what I kind of, going there is, what are, I also thought about this in the sense of, what are we doing when we're doing these solo role playing games, and we're talking about these, simulated worlds. And I say hello to Phaedrus Live, who might be, along with Rugged Source, who's, and other people who are like training themselves to be role players, who might be actually like the one person we might actually have discovered who's like participates, who's like an actual from the world of role playing games. Simulated realities. And if humanity gets to the point of us going into these virtual worlds that we create, what kind of virtual worlds will people really be creating if they're left to their own devices? Like, honestly, like Phaedrus Live, like Rugged Source, like, not everybody, putting it to you guys honestly, guys and gals, honestly, left to your own devices, someone comes to you like that movie, or Minority Report is almost, in many ways, a twin to the movie Strange Days with Ray Fiennes. And in fact, there's a character in Minority Report that's almost like a clone of Ray Fiennes. He's this kind of like a swarthy kind of, he repeats almost the exact same Ray Fiennes lines. He's almost dressed in the same way. He's this kind of same red leather jacket, and he puts a guy into. He's got almost the same gig. Ray Fiennes, sells people, these mini discs with, virtual memories that they can repeat and experience virtually. And this sleazy guy puts people in these virtual tanks where they're going to experience these, virtual orgies. But he gives people almost the exact same virtual speech. When Strange Days opens up, Ray Fiennes gives people these speeches. You're going to run on the beach. I can put you. You can fuck any girl you want to fuck. You want to fuck a blonde girl. You want to fuck a guy. You want to fuck a guy. You want to fuck 3 guys. I don't care. I don't care who you want to fuck. Right? Listen. I don't care who you want to. I don't care who you want to kill. I come to you in the back alley. Hey, Phaedrus Live. Listen, man. Listen, hold on. Listen to me. Listen to me and understand. It's an offline technology. You understand what I mean? You understand what I'm saying to you? Listen, hold on to me. I sell it to you. It's an offline technology. It doesn't repeat back to me. It runs off the tech on the deck. The tech off the deck. No mainline upload. No one tracks how you jack. No one gives you any slack. No one gets hurt. No one cries. No one really says goodbye. I don't care how you get down. All I'm telling you is for 17 large, you can do whatever you want to do tonight. Now, everyone in this live chat is now free to go. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever. I don't get, you know what I mean? Good old fashioned, my old lady is good enough for me. Go for it. To your heart's content. 17. I don't have 17G. Okay, that's fine. Wait till next year. Guess what? Price cut. You got 7.5, 705. You got $750. Got $750? I'll wait 2 years. I'll wait 2 years on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Before you're ready to admit, you're ready to admit in private or in public. You ready to admit in private or in public? What are people ready to admit in private or in public that if they have the option to do whatever they wanted to do, that they would be doing something? That you would be, everybody's going to be doing right. Hey, check this out. If there's a virtual reality machine that lets you experience things in virtual reality, show of hands, somebody here is going to be in virtual reality experiencing something. You got a dick that doesn't work. When they put you in the virtual reality machine, your dick works. Guess what? So here, and the point of the thought experiment is this, folks, you're already practicing because people are already playing games, right? People are already playing games. We already see our kids. We walk by kids playing games all the time. And what are they doing? They're shooting each other. The normative response to people to each other in virtual worlds is to fuck shit up, right? And I ain't seen the depiction of a virtual reality world where people can do whatever the fuck they want, where they're not doing whatever the fuck they want. Whatever the fuck they want is some fucked up motherfucking shit. And where at least some percentage of the population seems to have a proclivity to say, oh, the option is for the individuals in the virtual reality machine that are playing the quote unquote NPCs to have full motion bodied responses to indicate that they are, feeling it, that they be so wired, right? That one be able to get the impression that one is, having an effect, right? Some messed up, crazy stuff. And here's the thing: people are going to say, isn't it? Some people are going to say, "Oh man, back in the day it was terrible." Guys like this sick freak over here, or this poor bastard over here, they would go out and they would rape and torture and kill little kids. But now, thanks to global Maborba tech, we can identify these people early on, get them into a safe normative program of home masturbation to virtual reality, molestation and raping and murder of kids. Oh my friggin' weird. Okay, I don't listen. I'm not voting for what? I'm not voting for it. I'm just saying where are we going? And I'm just being honest and saying, folks, on 2/12/23, I made the notation in my spell book. I guess we got to talk about grimy shit, the realistic replication of real life problems. Why? Because look, I watched a movie from 2013, 10-year nostalgia loop called The Seasoning House. It was a piece of garbage movie. It was a piece of garbage movie. But people work on movies. They work on stuff. What can I tell you about this movie? It was watched because it was from 2013. It was primarily watched to explore this question, or was this question or the exploration of this issue an excuse to watch this movie and to take spells from it? But in the taking of spells from it, and then trying to transform the spells, it was still dealing with this grimy stuff. It's basically kind of like torture porn, is what the movie was. It took place in a Balkans like forced servitude. It was like a 2013 homage to kind of one of these like women in prison movies slash Eli Roth hostile torture porn movies. It was a real piece of sleaze. Um, if there was anything redeeming of it, it's ostensibly a female protagonist, but it is dark and it doesn't really resolve to any sort of goodness. But moving beyond that, it's the entree into the subject matter of taking spells or talking about the taking of spells from this stuff. And also this point, coming up to this point, and this I think this dovetails into another issue of this. What am I doing here, and what is this meta RPG? And note that I've kind of stopped with the SSP, TTT, the meta RPG. What's his face, the dude who sued me. It should be noted, I'm not upset or worried about it, but I did note, the only reason that I started calling it the SSP TTT meta RPG was because, the historical origins of it. It literally came from the CW Chanter's Secret Space Program Whistleblower School. So it was only that. But there was only after the fact that I realized, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like I named that, like, that it's just like it's like tangentially related, not tangentially, the connection. If you know my history, the connection to the guy, I couldn't have picked the worst thing to associate it with. So I immediately knew. I was like, well, then it was like super space. It just became complicated, and the notion that it's not complicating it is erroneous, because the person who sued me, their last two videos have absolutely stressed the issue of gaming. Hello, Bobby Hale. We say hello to Bobby Hale. You know what I mean? It's hysterical. I was tempted to make a video on my main channel joking about unicycles as a thought experiment to see if there might be some amazing revelations about, unicycle tech coming out of, LOC. But I'm not trying to be provocative. So, and I also noted that, you know, this whole notion of like, tabletop role playing games and, everything, like it's, I don't want to drive anyone crazy. I don't want to drive myself crazy. If I'm the only one that's doing this, I don't want to drive people nuts. So I started like when me and Golden, when I snapped at Golden Coin 100, or when it looked like I was going to go after Rugged Source, I started to say to myself, like, is there an issue here where if I relaxed and just treated this channel like I'm doing this meta RPG, this is my personal thing, and you guys check it out, and if you're into it, you'll pick it up, and you can do it, along the way as well, versus kind of what this kind of thing was, where it kind of like came at it and then just kind of based on automatic pilot, it just was like, we're gonna do this together, and I'm selling you on it, and and it's a sellable thing, and we're and I'm Willy Wonka, and we're I'm the Time Master, and this whole thing, and we're cool if yeah, yeah, and then Monday, this thing is this Monday, right? Is it Monday? Where is this? What is the date? I should know. I forget. So we'll figure it out. It's. I think it's Monday. It's sometime soon. I think it's Monday. It's something. Anyway, here we go. Listen. So the point is this: is that I don't know. We'll figure it out. Um, I can't get it. No, no, help me out. I like her shoes. The Notorious McFarlane ankle, unfortunately, you have to overcompensate for, but she's got great shoes. Okay, so listen. Let me stay focused, please, guys. Do me a favor and let's keep that guys anytime. Let's just. I don't want any association with that energy ever again. There's I just ever just what I mean. Like I don't. I will never even. I won't even call it a he shall who shall not be named. It's just like increase the vibe. Just like improve the vibe. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like there of all the you know what I mean? Just there's better. Like, I would prefer, what I mean, the name Adolf Hitler in the chat. You know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is. Moving back to life. Moving back to life. I should know the date. But then again, if you're gonna tell me that I should give a shout out, you might as well just assume that you should just give me the name and the actual date. I apologize, Pragmagic, but really, you should have known that I would need the actual date. Anyway, hold on. I'll solve the problem right now. Shit. Hold on. Monday the 20th. It's the 20th. It's the 20th. It's the 20th. It's Monday the 20th. Monday the 20th, I'll be on the Hauntology podcast. The thing. This is a thing. The 20th. Okay, listen, I gotta move on. So, when we're thinking about where to put our energy and what to do things and what to worry about and how to grow things, you know, you don't want to overthink things, you don't want to underthink things. So, I realized that in reviewing the notes and in going over things, that obviously I am not here presenting a finished product. Hey, look, hey Ben, today's date is 3/13/12. There you go. Nice, nice, nice. There you go. 3/13/23. There you go. There you go. Absolutely, absolutely. It is very cool. It is very cool. Especially considering that some of the dates I'll be looking at when I start some of this stuff. Um I didn't come here with a finished product. I was doing and creating the meta RPG as I was playing it and as I was doing it. So there's certain things that we kicked out there. I kicked out there that obviously we've abandoned. Like the necessity of rolling dice, like the primacy of the importance of rolling dice or certain things. But there were certain things obviously that held true. Spellcasting. Also, I want to point out that I am not saying that he is ripping me off. I am not accusing him of biting my style, but I am saying that he is when he made a certain video, he is on the 10-year nostalgia loop. Ivan Teller on a recent video channeled the Tet from the movie Oblivion. That is the world absorbing mega AI entity that invades Earth and takes over and clones Tom Cruise in the movie Oblivion. I made so many things, spells off Oblivion, and talked about Oblivion at length. Prompted by Oblivion, you can ID special tech and aspects of certain media and stuff, and either spread it or hide it. Spread it wide to others on your side or the entire network universe. Why these words, Chanter? Why that name? For and or narrowcast either, because remember that was early on when it was I was going to be the one time master, and people could either be rebels or loyalists. This is a form of spellcraft. We were creating a new world. See, some of this, I think maybe some of this stuff will come invest later on. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Um, some of the stuff, like I remember that I generated this from the movie Riddick. There was this death of this kind of familiar animal that I led to the creation of blood tier magic, creation of a blood tier effect from things related to this would be spells created from things related to tragedy or pain. Effect causes the transformation of something into emotional pain, as if the blood spilling were simultaneously mixing into an equal amount of salty tears. Also, remember, no NPCs and SSPTTT. That doesn't make any sense. I love that was a beautiful little wonderful notion that I had no NPCs and SSPTTT. That makes no sense. I mean, it just didn't bear out. I looked at that. I came back to it. Tried to make it work. Tried to like do it, and it was like it was a beautiful thing to say, but I kept on coming back to it. It just doesn't make any sense. Um, so it's like L. Ron Hubbard. I could try keep on trying to come back to it and make everything I said make sense, and justify it, or I could admit that I was writing as I did it, and it just didn't make sense. Or also like no death in no death of any any of these player of any a player any virtual characters in in uh in the meta RPG. That clearly didn't make sense, because I've seen player characters die in Final Fantasy game books. So that just was not. I falsified it myself. I just saw that it wasn't true. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, that would tested it. It wasn't true. So you know what I mean? You learn by doing. Spell tip. Leave it up. Okay, so there you go. So it is what it is. So let me get to maybe. So I continued generating spells, and I've been having a wonderful time. I had watched this terrible movie. Terrible. So I started watching trashy movies. So here's what I noticed, and this comes to this like self-disclosure. Let me get to this movie Slink from 2003, and eventually I'm going to have to, because once we get to this book, City of Thieves by Ian Livingstone, if I get to this disclosure, this was from first published in the UK in 1983. So this is on the 40-year nostalgia loop. Okay? So I mixed it with a movie from 1983 that, I wonder if I should even disclose that it's a movie that I saw on a regular old streaming service. But if you go back to movies, like it's like Blue Lagoon. Plenty of people saw Blue Lagoon in the movie theater. How do you feel if you are a 72-year-old guy? How do you feel about sitting down and talking about your experiences watching Blue Lagoon in the movie theater with your friends and neighbors? When I saw Blue, I feel fine telling about how I felt about Blue Lagoon, because Brooke Shields is much, much older than me. And when I saw Blue Lagoon, I was perfectly comfortable seeing Blue Lagoon because she was much, much older than me. But if you want to see a guy that's older than me freeze up real fast, start talking about Blue Lagoon. Or she made another movie that she was like buck ass naked, and Brooke Shields was, when she was like a fucking kid. And if you want to see an actor freeze up real fucking asshole, mosquito asshole tight, she was in this movie with this famous actor that he's in the movie with her in it. And the latest thing that they love to do, like the last like 5 interviews I've seen with this guy, it's crazy. They love to ask him about that fucking movie. It's fucking nuts. It's like Pretty Baby. I don't know what the fuck the name of the movie is. It's like a period movie or whatever. It's like an old movie. Like it's like shot like it's in the olden times or whatever. It's just like it's crazy. I felt okay about when I saw that movie too, because when I saw that movie too, I was like 12, 11 years old, but she was older than me. So Brooke Shields will always be older than me. You want to see old men freak the fuck out? Ask them how they feel about seeing that movie. And just so you, FY, and in case you're curious, everybody that worked on all those movies like Blue Lagoon and the other one I told you about, everyone that worked on those movies that's not dead, right? They're still fucking working, right? and everybody just here's the thing. Every and you know, and Jimmy Page lived with a young teenage girl for years, and no one said the fucking nothing. And to this day, no one has ever arrested his ass, even though everybody knew that for years he lived with a girl who was a child. And the same thing with Steven Tyler. And David Wilcock is going to say all this stuff about Illuminati what and Guantanamo Bay this, and he's still going to show you photos of him hanging out with Steven Tyler. And Steven Tyler's going to talk about the Janie Got a Gun Foundation and this, that, and the other thing, and everyone's going to know. And the same thing with Ted Nugent. These men notoriously took young girls from state to state, sleeping with them, with the managers knowing and the cops taking them, escorting them from location to location. And these men are walking around day to day. Oprah Winfrey hanging out with Steven Tyler as he hangs out on fucking American Idol doing whatever. No one says shit. Yo, but you know, hey, but whatever. I'm you know, it's just this crazy whatever world that we live in. Yeah, Tim Frey. I saw on HBO like we all saw that shit on HBO like normal kids. Just hey, check it out, Blue Lagoon. Yeah, check out the other movie. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. See all that shit. See Porky's, whatever, or whatever insane Death Wish craziness. You know what I mean? Say, oh, hey, check it out. It's the gang rape scene with Jeff Goldblum. Normal. Anyway, then you grow up and you're still demented, and you watch Slink from 2003. So here's what the disclosure is. So let's check this out, because it's not only this. So at a certain point, I had to be honest with myself and say, okay, so with this meta, let's do this also. Let's do this, because I think this makes sense. I want to see if I had it like the spell creation. Like oh shoot. Which notebook did I put that in? Oh, okay, I put that in the other one. Okay. You know, because I thought that if we had the spell creation stuff, it would be it might serve as a good primer. But let's just keep on moving, guys. I'm already 43 minutes in. Let me do let me try and get the what I did with the creation of the let's leave the fighting fantasy one to the end, and let's leave that one to another show, and let's just do the girls of Slink. Or let's just do an introduction to let's just do the spells from Slink as an intro, and let's just do that as a preliminary disclosure of honesty about what the nature of, you know, generating these spells could end up becoming. So just like talking about the creation of virtual worlds and what kind of virtual world we're trying to create, if these spells can be, look, in this meta RPG practice, we are traveling back in time via media immersion and media energy manipulation when so transmuted and trans displaced through the metaphorical application and manipulation of gaming mechanics and methodologies. We see the media, we watch the movies, we watch the TV show, we listen to the music, we listen to the tune skis, we jam the tune skis, we play the game, we read the RPG book, we read the comic book, we see the trope, we write the trope down. We see the visual cue, we capture the visual cue, we write the visual cue down. We see the character, we capture the character, we write the character down. We see the item or object, we capture the item object, we replicate the item or object, we write the object or object down. Some spells are things that we utilize for us or our avatars or our PCs or NPCs to do. Some things are for us or our avatars or our NPCs or creatures or entities to be. And some things are objects to be replicated within these virtual spaces. So when you're watching these things, when you're listening to these pieces of media, when you're experiencing, what you harvest matters, and what you are harvesting may bespeak your motivations, may be speaking what you're looking for, and you need to look, because what you are eating, what you are harvesting, will be what you end up spinning your next worlds from. We create these virtual islands, these spaces, these 2003, 2013, 1998, 1993 islands that can float and support these avataric entities to be played, to be interacted with, to be questioned, to do research, to do whatever. But like I said, if my world is only made up of, if your world is only made up of the products of B movie, sleaze movie, horror movie, Slaughterhouse 9, kind of a one-dimensional world that may be a hellscape to live in. Am I eating only junk food? And what kind of twisted world of tomorrow am I breeding? Also, how am I capturing people? Am I capturing people as full soul, conscious beings? Or am I capturing them like slaves? Yeah, we'll get right down to it, right? Straight up objectification of the female body, reducing women to, the simplest things. So I'll be honest here. We're going to come down to defining women just as names that I could take as just names, because I knew that at the end, these spells were going to be utilized in the creation of characters, PCs, primarily based on the year 2003. I knew that these would be in the creation of these. Have been utilizing the Fighting Fantasy simple rule set from the Fighting Fantasy game books. So I knew that the use of names, I was taking a lot of names whenever people were using first names, but it was also, a lot of just simple kind of, descriptors of, body types, just to do this. But then I said, well, hey, look, being honest here, I was like, what kind of, thing am I engaged in here? Well, look, what will I disclose? What will I not disclose? We say hello to Lisa Kane. Here's Brad Magic. I was just saying I mentioned you for the Hauntquinox next Monday on the podcast, an article released today. Sorry for the confusion. No problem. Say hello to Lisa Kane. Rugged source, my character has 1000% chance to crit against enemies whose name ends in good. Good. There you go. 3/20/2023 at 2:23 Pacific Standard Time, but you come when you can. I'll be there. Be there, be square. All right. There you go. Slink from 2003. Cat Lady. Silent Strike. Open in Silence. Zipper Work. Guilty Adult Designer in Pink. Old Bag Hanging Around with a Coke Problem. Punk Rock Courtney Starfire. Virgin Leathers. That was just the name of a store. I don't want to... Bitch on the Phone. Miss Sophisticated Body. See where it is. Liftoff. Our Lead with Long Brown Curls. You see this? Something Spotted at the Waistline. Sneak Attack. Bag Laughter. Hot VHS. Cowboy Boots with Short Shorts Ensemble. Come on, dude. Framed Marble. I like that. I use that, I think. Joy, Tiffany, Stephanie, Aunt May. The Black Stallion. Edible Foam. Some of these are not so bad. Spitfire Ass. That might have been, but you have to understand, some of these might have been like some of it might have been like a visual cue, like something might have happened. Watching her. Jeez Louise. Come on now. Strip to Kill. Yikes. Transformations. Erotic Loop. I'm not reading all of these, by the way. Some of them are just, Girl on Girl I didn't read, but I disclosed it. I told you what it was. Chemical Compounds. Light Blue Bible Reader. Okay. Navajo Mist. I like that. Kayla in a purple top, jeans, and the boots. Guess it was worth noting. Poor Courtney Corpse getting tanned. There's the premise of Slink, because you're gonna miss it because it's not worth seeing. There's like it's in the middle of nowhere. There's a fantastic, one of a kind handbag store. And it turns out that the handbags are made out of people. Stupid. Anyway. Arlo Nunez, bass guitar. Floor Kayla, swimsuit model. That's an inside joke. Dragon Roll Lady, Skin Job, Motionless and Courtney. Gothic, Majestic, Rural Beauty Bodyscape. There was an amazing show. I don't know how this happened. This is like a Z grade movie, but for whatever reason, there was this one shot where they, for what, I don't know how it ended up happening, but it was just this one. It was like a Matisse. It was just amazing. Uh, a truly lovely specimen. There you go. Underground assembly line. Aaron Embalmer. Kayla come to action. Kayla versus the Embalmer. Kayla in the hay. Erotic asphyxiation of Catwoman. Senior citizen Joker. Bag Joan. I like that one. Where are you? Return of the Red Bangs retainer. Oh, some of these got crossed off because I used them. Green Athletic Ensemble Psycho Barbie. That was a good one. I like that one. I can't believe I didn't use that. Camel. Oh, this is a good one. Camel Teal Psycho Barbie. Multiple ones. Get Excited Kid. Escape Scene. Aunt May. Kyla Nunez. And here's just one. Like, oh, this was like as the credits were rolling. I just like wrote down a whole bunch of girl names. VCR Music. Silence Explained. Mystic Marlowe. Frolic Beyond Filth. Where's Kyla's tape? Oh, it's in the VCR. Yeah. So anyway, I guess it was not that bad. What I ended up getting able to do, you see on this whole page, I generated over here. We have three, protagonists. We have three female agents, I guess you could call them. And over here, this whole space is one whole, it's like the Everglades. It's the whole region is like they have the whole Everglades. But in this like Everglades-like region, which is known as Your Own Private Oasis, because that was a spell. Your Own Private Oasis was a spell taken from Slink. All these gals were generated according to the Fighting Fantasy rules from spells derived from Slink. The area was derived, the whole meta area, the Everglades-like region, was generated from Your Own Private Oasis from Slink. Then the smaller like location, the embalming farm was a spell taken from Slink. So like that's like the smaller like cutaway area. And then the gate, which is like the area, like how you get from like what would join this world, this like island of 2003 to like be able to join it to like other places in 2003 or other places in 2003 that I would generate would be this area called the gate that also comes from Slink. So Your Own Private Oasis generated the whole big verdant green lush semi-tropical freshwater sources feeding, flowing, and still linked to all other temporal linked worlds related and nearby. And when I rolled on 100-sided die, because like whenever I roll a spell from I rolled, so here we go. Form of, we'll do this one time. Then the embalming farm, then that was also a spell. That was like the whole big little area for like I guess like the compound. And the gate was a place that was generated from exterior of the farm appears as wood wall fencing, shedding, tall, high, created with exterior. Oh, because that's this thing. Exterior shedding. Oh, this was the spell that was taken from Slink. Exterior shedding with blue light with greenery, used to create the gate because it's rooted in this world. Entrance to the farm, blah, blah, blah. There you go. All right, so here were the gals. Rules. Oh, here. Era of page is 2003. Created 2/22/23. So I started this project on 2/22/23, and today is 3/13/2023. So that's like kind of like weird numerical thing there going on. There you go. Rules being used for player characters shall be Fighting Fantasy from Trial of Champions, reprint 2003. Spell sourcing is Slink from 2003. Agenda for day 1 is to create 3 PCs for this space. And I did it correct. I did it successfully. We created Danny Nunez. She's 23. Her stamina is a 19. She rolled a 2 and a 5 because you get the stamina from Fighting Fantasy by rolling 2 6-sided dice. And what? You add that? Wait, what? And I guess you roll 2 6-sided dice and add it to. Oh, yeah, it's the stamina. Yeah, you 2 6-sided dice and add it to the 12. There you go. Whew, thanks. Oh, there you go. Okay, so having rolled a 2 and a 5. Okay, now this is where she got her stamina. So the stamina is her body, right? That's her thing. So look, this is the spell that I took her stamina from, right? Bronzed blonde for display. Okay. So in the how they get the bodies to make the leather, the purses and Slank is the front is they have a tanning salon. And so the gals go in for the tanning salon, and then they kill the gals at the tanning salon, and then they take them to the embalming farm. So they get the girls naked. So you get the girls naked so that's look, it's a slasher movie. You get the girls naked, you get them naked, you kill them, and you take them to the embalming farm. So when I saw the gal naked, it's a blonde gal, so bronze blonde for display because she's on display. So that's the spell for that. And then her skill was a 9. She rolled a 3 for her skill. And then her spell was knife on the wall because there was a knife on the wall, like a display knife. So that wasn't so great, but that was part of her thing. And then her luck, which is her spiritual background, mood changing angels, which I really liked. And she got a 22. That was great. I really like that. Oh, that was because in addition to their spells, like she gets her normal stats. So her stat for her luck is 9, but like you also roll the 100-sided dice, like to get like kind of the spell's mojo, like energy, like I did for the space. And she got 22, which is my magic number for mood changing angels. So I was like, oh, you're blessed, you know? Then there's Sister May. She's 32. She's kind of like the not like the leader, but she's like very I don't know, she's kind of like bossy, I guess. And her stamina is 21, and she got that from the spell Miss May in Purple. So she's kind of like an older gal, and then with pumps. Oh, the spell was Miss May in Purple with pumps. So yikes. There you go. All right. Her skill is a 7, which is terrible. Because she got a 1. And her skill is a whip. The spell that generated her skill is a whip tailored from your sister's skin. Now, on her meta score for her spell is an 83. So it's huge, but in her actual skill, like in the Fighting Fantasy rule set, it's a 7. It's lame ass. But you see, she really believes in it. So it's like, this is why I called her Sister May. And her luck is a 12, which is the ultimate she could get in luck in Fighting Fantasy. And in it's called Digital Leaf is her spell that she got for that. So it's like she's a really true believer in this, like in her faith. You know what I mean? But it's futile. You know what I mean? Kind of is how I see it. I don't know if that it might be esoteric to you. It might be esoteric to you. And the last gal is this gal called Rebecca Redbangs. Oh yeah. She's 30. Her stamina is a 19. Because she rolled a 4 and a 3. And her stamina comes from a spell called Red Bangs Adult Retainer. Ooh la la. And her skill is a 7. Terrible. It's from a spell called I Found a Way Out. So she's supposed to be like I guess like an escape artist or like a navigator, but she sucks. It's the same thing with Sister May. Sister May is, I guess, supposed to be like an interrogator or a torture artist or something, and she sucks too. Really, basically the same thing with Danny Nunez. All these girls are really terrible at skill. Like they suck. So I think part of the thing is like they're at this place called the embalming farm, but it's decommissioned. So like part of my attitude about this whole place is like that they kind of like they might be like Yutskis, like they might be like the last ones off the farm, like they might just be like left there because like no one knows what to do with them. We say hello to Shadow Zone Productions. What's going on, baby? So then and her luck was a 10, and her luck is her spell came from Paige Hefner, who I wrote in parentheses, I now make a self-help guru from 2003. So I had a spell from Slink called Paige Hefner that I then turned into a self-help guru. So her luck is her belief in the self-help guru named Paige Hefner. Okay. Then creating the space, I already kind of touched upon it. Your own private oasis formed the meta space, the larger kind of all-encompassing kind of Everglades type area, kind of wild things type area. Then we had the embalming farm as kind of the larger complex. Then we have the interior where I generated just a few. I just had generated not that many places, locations. So when I was dealing with this movie Slink from 2003, the thing I had to deal with was I had generated a lot of like girls. Like I generated a lot of like gal names, bodies, body types, like, Hotsy Totsy, ready to go, Tootsie of the Wets and all that shit. But I didn't, I had a paucity of objects and locations, spaces. But I had Viperwave Alcove, and I had a place called, I think, room number 6. And I had some objects. And I had I think I had 2 basic descriptors of things. So working with that, I can basically take you through and say, I had the embalming farm for Vaporwave Alcove was used to create this entrance area. I could show you kind of I'll show you kind of the map here. So, this is the Vaporwave Alcove. So here's the door in. There's the doorway. And this first place we see is Vaporwave Alcove. Okay, so now this is the room number, I think it's called room number 6. And that's upstairs. So here's stairs leading there's stairs leading upstairs. And there's the upstairs room. And underneath this upstairs room, I wrote over here. What did I write over here? I wrote kitchen and amenities, first floor under room 6. Okay. So here's a thing. Wrote down here's a, what's this thing called? What were the objects? Oh, we have the actual Mona Lisa. I have windows I drew in. Windows over here. There's a door. What were the objects, though? I want to tell you the objects, and then I want to tell you the things. Oh, there's a hammock. We have the Mona Lisa. We have 6 dolls. We have a modest urn. We have a vintage VCR CRT that's cathode ray tube combo. That's what we had for objects. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objects. So you see if we have the beds, the 3 beds here, we have the dolls arranged here. We have the modest urn. We have the CRT VCR combo here. Then we had 2 room effects, like things to apply to the room. We had Gothic interior design on the cheap for a room effect. So, and then we also had, what did we also have? Fancy Stuff XL. Oh, Fancy Stuff XL. Oh, Fancy Stuff XXL. So we had 2 room effects. We had Fancy Stuff XXL as a spell, and we had Gothic interior design on the cheap. So here's what you want to do. If you have room effects, you want to put your objects down first. Put your objects down first, and then do your room effects. Why? You do that so that your room effects apply to your objects. You see? You put your objects down first, and then when you do Gothic interior design on the cheap, then your Gothic interior design on the cheap hits your fucking VCR cathode ray tube TV combo, and now your VCR cathode ray tube TV is fucking gothified. Thank you very much, bitch. There you go. That's how you do it. And then you put your modest stern there and your shit, and then you drop the fancy stuff XXL. All of a sudden, your rent-a-wreck bullshit, your rent-away bullshit is now fancy stuff. Hello. Thank you. This is how we play. You're losing your mind, CW Chanter. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've gone crazy. I'm going crazy. Oh my God. It's so sad. It's so sad. And look, Sam, it's a vaporwave alcove, and we can live there, and we can be friends. And and there's the urn that Raksha lives in, and we can podcast there, and look, and there's fresh water, and that's where we're gonna go to the bathroom. Oh my God. I once thought I'd have a career on YouTube. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. What the fuck just happened? Oh my God. Gothic King Loser on. Holy shit. Wow. Woo. Don't make you clip this one. I won't make you do it. No, I'm not making you do it. Hey, listen. No, that's cool. No, I won't make you do. No, that's cool. No, you're cool. We're good. I'm kidding. Right? Yeah, right. Corey Good, you wish. You wish I was losing my mind. Yeah, right. Fell for it. I don't think any of this shit. What? Role-playing games? Stupid. Yeah, right. Watching movies from 2013 thinking they're real. Whatever. Time for that. Anywho. So, listen. Hey, I'm glad that I finally got a chance to come back and start making some meta RPG content, because I've been having a heck of a time. I've been playing, this is really good stuff. I have been, but I have been figuring stuff out, through this. It is an esoteric practice. It is. And when you engage in an esoteric practice, you figure stuff out. Where am I going with this? What am I working towards? What do I want this to be going towards? What world am I trying to generate? And this is nuts. I swear to God, I'm just noticing this now. This is bizarre. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I just repurposed this notebook. I just grabbed this notebook and started using it as another spell book, because the other spell book was driving me crazy the way it was folding. This is nuts. I swear to God, this is nuts. This is nuts. This will show you how old this book is and how long I've been using this book. Yo, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Check this out. Look at that year. Is it going to come into focus? It's 2003. It's 2003. 2003. Midwest. The Notebook is on the fucking 20-year nostalgia loop. And my daughter, we were in the waiting room, and she wanted me to help her, read her the story that she was taking notes on, the book she was reading, taking notes on. It was this book, Freak the Mighty. Get out! If I'm lying, I'm dying. I couldn't help myself. I told her what I was going to do. I said, I said, then we were done reading the chapter. I said, you know what I'm going to do? She says, what? So I'm going to check the copyright year. She goes, whatever. And I go, guess what? Guess what? Say, hey, guess what? Guess what? Yo, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Yo, guess what? My kids ignore me all the time. Guess what? Yo, guess what? Guess what? Kids they're like, guess what? Yo, guess what? Guess what, kid? Yo, check this out. Guess what? Guess what? Yo, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Yo, guess what? Yo, guess what? Yo, guess what? Guess what? Kid, guess what? Guess what? Yo, 1993. If I'm lying, I'm dying. 1993. The qualified mental health professionals would say, they mean nothing, doctor. They mean nothing. Don't worry, relax. You write down your notebook. They mean nothing. I know they mean they're random coincidences. I get it. I understand. It's an engagement of magical thinking that these things mean something. They don't mean anything in particular other than they're coincidental. And what do you mean? What do they mean? What do you mean? What do they mean? What do they mean? What do they mean? You're asking me, and I'm asking you. What do you mean? What? I get it. That way, I don't. Everything's fine, doctor. You're asking me what I'm up to. I'm telling you what I'm up to. It's again with the numbers. If you're asking what I'm up to, do you want me to stop telling you what I'm up to? Because I can do that too. 30 years ago tonight, there was another nor'easter. Loops everywhere. Check this out. You want to know something crazy about today? 3/13/23. Okay, check this out. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Okay, 3/13, March 13th. Okay, March 13th. Very interesting year. Very interesting day. And I think you're going to find this very interesting. This will be a little bit of a mind blower, I think. Okay. Did William Hurt just die? Oh, I think William Hurt just died. Oh no, he died last year. I apologize. Sorry. That was last year. Okay. What are these events? Okay. March 13th, 2023. Okay, no, March 13th, 2020. Breonna Taylor was killed by police officers who were forcibly entering her room in Louisville, Kentucky. Her death sparked extensive protests against racism and police brutality, right? Okay, check this out. Also on that day, March 13th, 2020, President Donald Trump declared that COVID-19 pandemic was a national emergency in the United States. Okay? On March 13th, 2016, 3 gunmen attacked 2 hotels in the Ivory Coast town of Grand Bassam, killing at least 19 people. On that same day, the Ankara bombing killed at least 37 people. In 2013, on the 10-year nostalgia loop, Pope Francis was elected the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church. In 2012, on this day, the Sierra coach crash killed 28 people, including 22 children. In 2003, On the 20-year nostalgia loop, an article in Nature identified the Chianti del Diavolo as 350,000-year-old hominid footprints. In 1993, on the 30-year nostalgia loop, the 1993 storm of the century affects the eastern United States, dropping feet of snow in many areas. In 1943, on the 80-year nostalgia loop, the German forces liquidated the Jewish ghetto in Krakow. There are days when I do that check and we get nothing. And then there are days when we get that. March 13 seems to be a wild one. And I'll remind you again that on the 20-something, we are going to be coming up on King Cobra JFS's 32nd birthday. He will be turning 32 in the year 2023. Here's spooky. Some days are recursive mathematically, nodes in the fractal tapestry. Make of that what you will. You'd have to. Oh, also on this day in 1969, the Apollo 9 returned safely to Earth after testing the lunar module. Crazy mixed up stuff. Crazy mixed up stuff. Crazy mixed up stuff. I think he was born. Nah, no one good. Some crazy swimmer, an American swimmer. We care for you swimmers. No. So everyone died. Oh my God! Yo, check this out. In 1998, on the 25-year nostalgia loop, Judge Dredd, the famous English ska singer, passed away. English Alexander Minton Hughes, 2nd of May 1945, from the 13th of March of 1998, better known as Judge Dredd, was an English reggae and ska musician. He was the first white recording artist to have a reggae hit in Jamaica, and the BBC has banned more of his songs than those of any other recording artist because of his frequent use of sexual innuendo and double entendres. Following his death, Rolling Stone reported he sold several million albums throughout his 25-plus year career and was seconded only to Bob Marley in the UK reggae sales during the 1970s. There you go. Interesting mix-up stuff. There you go. Okay, folks. I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did. That somebody is CW Chanter. And the lovely and growing on me Mohican Wonder Woman. Gotta love those shoes. She's got attitude for days. And more importantly, she's got the bane. So I am still gonna do the the whatchamacallit, the action figure channel. It's gonna happen. It's gotta. Who knows? Planned to do on that channel is my expose on the. I have an Imagine Next Bane, which is Imagine Next are these little guys. Where's do I have any Imagine Next guys? I may have taken most of them. They're the cute little like Fisher Price type guys, and I have a Fisher Price Bane guy. But my question is, why would you make a Fisher Price Bane? Right? He's like he's a psycho. Here we go. Come on, lady. Got the dead air, lady. Come on, you're killing me. Not yet. Here we go. From 2003, we have the Egyptian Tarot, keeping with our nostalgia loop themes. Spooky's trying to get the wise Ra in here because who is the person that shut you down? I can't remember. Who was it? Jason Albert was like, shut the fuck up with wise Ra. You're trying to get in there. I think we got to let that go though. I do think we got it. Or you change wise Ra. I think we have to like go in other directions. I want to like we want to like clear like all the get rid of like all the fuckery. Unless there's like if like unless you're really working with Ra. If you're really working with Ra, it's another thing. I just said to bug you, Law. I wasn't asking for a card on it. Okay, hey, listen, and bear in mind, and well, I see you weren't asking a card for it, and I raised you. I know you were joking, and I wasn't being serious. I was just playing along. So, there's that. So, what you want to do, right? You know, I'll ask. Hey, what's up with CAC? Whatever happened to CAC? Whatever happened to CAC? Whatever happened to CAC? Yo, what is up with CAC? Yo, inquiring minds want to know. Yo, has anyone seen the latest Laura Eisenhower? Let me tell you what is up with Laura Eisenhower. Laura Eisenhower was up, not even with Alfred Lamar Weber. Laura Eisenhower apparently is like there are a whole bunch of people apparently trying to reboot. Dude, there are apparently a whole bunch of people trying to reboot. Trying to reboot and trying to get, I think, are they trying to reboot the Q? Laura Eisenhower, the latest thing is, I guess they're trying to say that it's the Khazarian Mafia thing again, and it's hard to make heads or tails of it, but like I think it's still the like part of it's like Donald Trump. Oh my God, you know what it was? America didn't really win World War II. I shit you not. I shit you not. That's some Douglas Dietrich shit. That's some deep end of the ocean shit. Spooky, yeah, it's the same folk who did the CG Accountability Project. There's a conference in May for SSP LARPers in Grifton, Illinois. Is it part of like there's like some sort of like truth parade or truth like tour or something? I think that Carrie Cassidy might be part of it. Here we go. The stars. Find your guiding star. The sun brings the universal life energy to all. But there's a star that calls to you. There's a cosmic inspiration, a light, a guide for you. You may be in tune and on the path. You may be adrift and searching. But the card is here. The card has been pulled. It's the card of now. It's the card of here, letting you know whether you feel that you're attuned or whether that you feel that you are searching. The present state of affairs is your star is present. Your inspiration is here for you. You are meant to follow it. Like the spermatozoa is meant to quest for the egg. Like the salmon is meant to quest upstream. You are meant to quest, seemingly against the impossible odds. So when it seems as though life is an impossible struggle, know this: it is all going exactly according to plan. And it is all working out okay. Because it's all okay. Inspiration is here. May you find it now. Interesting. And I said, where's the Imagine Next? And then I have an Imagine Next person right here. So I got at home, I've got a little tiny Bane that's like this. And it's like, why would you know what I mean? It's like, why would John Wayne Gacy Imagine Next? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. There you go. So I am off. I'm headed back home where Bane will have arms. And now next time you see me, we will have a finished Bane. And then we'll be able to have, now we have Wonder Woman with a mohawk to go with the now we have like Wonder Woman in all like states of follicle fashion. There you go. I'll be your man for all seasons and your woman for all shows. Put a little X on her hand. She'll be good to go. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did. That's somebody CW Chanter, CW Time Gamer, Cable Guy Incognito, International Man of Mystery. We'll talk to you soon.